Strange Academy, issue number 18. So, folks, it's been a hot minute since this book came out. It ended on a pretty big cliffhanger where the kids of Strange Academy walked out of the actual Strange Academy. So, a couple things I do want to talk about at the beginning before we get into this. This ends on a cliffhanger. This is the last issue of this run. They say at the end of the book, hey, we'll be back in the summertime with issue number 1. It's getting a relaunch. Why? Because I'm sure they need it. Look, a book like this, it should be episodic, and I feel like if this is like year 1, it's the freshman, sophomore year, yeah, let's jump into the next year. That works for me. I think they called it semester, actually, so that makes more sense, too. I've been championing this book since day 1. I think it's clever. I think it's fun. I really dig it. And this issue, hey, it's really interesting. Now, I could see some people having criticism of certain characters getting KO'd pretty easily, but nah, I'm buying it. I think it's fine. I think it works. So we open up this book and the teachers are like, so pretty much all of our students just walked out. What are we going to do about that? We have to find them. We have to get them back. We don't even know where they are. How is that going to work? How are we going to do any of this? And we do find out where the kids are. They're in the Sanctum Sanctorum, and Germain is dressing up as Doctor Strange and ordering a shit ton of pizzas for everybody. And the pizza guy buys it, like that's Doctor Strange. They're headed up the Sanctum Sanctorum down a hallway because all of the kids are just hanging out here, figuring out what their next step's going to be. Just living it up in this really silly building. And I think that's pretty dope. You see Ulrich's trying to talk to Emily like, okay, so what are we doing? Like, I'm all for leaving and figuring shit out, but like, what's next? And a lot of the other kids are like, yeah, this is a great step, but where do we go from here? You got all of us to follow you out because of Calvin, so what are we doing? What else is happening, Emily? But she's like, I don't know. I just didn't want them to throw Calvin out. It's like, that's not right. Like, we got to figure out like what else is going on. And everyone's trying to start figure out like, hey, maybe we should make like a list of demands. She's like, we're not demanding anything. Like, what do you think this is? Like, you staged a walkout, Emily. We are clearly have something we need to get across to these adults. So everyone starts like listing the ideas that they think should be happening. And as they're kind of talking over Emily, she's getting very frustrated to the point where she lashes out and she gets really angry and kind of throws some people aside in like this fit of despair. And you're like, oh, what's going on? And suddenly we cut to Doyle and he's in class and he's like, stop it. And you feel like, oh shit, there's a connection between the two of them. What is it? It's like, oh, we don't know. But I was like, I gotta go right now. There's something I gotta figure out. I gotta go. Okay. And he just runs out of the room, goes back to Miss Hazel, who was the fortune teller he saw in one of the earliest issues of the book. And he's like, I need you to show me the fortune again. Like my future, I need to see it because I was clearly missing something. You got to tell me what's going on. I feel like there's a part of the puzzle piece I am missing to see the full picture. What is it? So she shows him the future. We see this inherent connection being built up, and we finally get to see what's actually going on. And he's like, oh no, it was my fault. It's not me. That's evil. It's Emily. And I'm like, that is a really good idea. I think that's a great, not even a twist, just like, that makes sense. And as Doyle is like, he gets on the phone, he's like, yo, Brother Voodoo, like, I figured out what's going on. Like, the crown I gave to Emily when she died to keep her alive, it's corrupting her and making her evil, and she's the one who's going to destroy everything. I thought I was me, and I thought because I am my father's son, I was going to be the evil one. Not the case. I know who it is. And I know where they are. He's like, yeah, we do too, because some people ratted them out. The wolf boy, I guess Gus, was Gus there the whole time? Well, Gus ratted them out too, potentially. So Selma and Jericho head over to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and they walk inside, and there's Emily, Ulrich, and Desi ready just to, school them for a minute. And what happens next is kind of just like Selma and Emily just yelling at each other like a bunch of kids, and it's very interesting. And the thing about this book I'm enjoying is like both sides could potentially be right. Like, you're untrained kids, you are literally being corrupted by this thing, but also the adults have lied to you about the source of magic and what's really going on in the world. Like, either way, if you guys just were honest, I think you could solve the problem easier. but you're not. So here we are. And I kind of like that they're just letting Emily be evil. We're not trying to fix her at this point. It's like, you're just coming back and we're dealing with this, okay? She's like, no, I don't think I will. Attacks them all. And everyone's like, do we help Emily? And Eric's the one's like, yeah, I'm helping her. I don't care. Like, clearly we're going to be something in the future, maybe. I'm helping her, okay? That's what I'm doing. But she's trying to push them all aside. And you see that Zelma uses, like, the mindless ones against her, but Emily's able to take control of them and use them against them. And she captures Zelma and Jericho. And this is where I'm like, oh, people aren't going to like that Emily did that, is it? But I'm going to tell you, she's using magic from a Dormammu. She is corrupted and evil, and she's a child. So Zelma and Jericho are not going to hurt a child. And you see, well, what are you going to do with us then, Emily? You got us. What are you going to do? I'm going to lock you in the dungeon that Steven has in this building. I guess you didn't know that, did you? You're, so preaching shit, but you didn't know he had a dungeon in here, did you? I doubt it. And also, we have somewhere else to be. We're going to our new home in the dark dimension. And I'm like, oh, okay, that is a huge, huge cliffhanger to end this book on. It's so cool. I really like this book, and it's been a couple of months since it's dropped, and it hasn't missed a beat. It's still picking up steam and ramping up to something big. It is so intense. And I think this is a great conclusion to this first semester, where it's like, nah, the students are done. Everybody is kind of siding with Emily, and I think that's fascinating, because when the students learn that Emily is, like, being controlled by this evil thing, some of them react like, oh shit. The other ones are like, oh, that, yeah, okay. Very fascinating. It's been an incredibly fun run so far. And yes, we do get confirmation that it is coming back, which is a big deal because you can't end it here. I don't know how the sales are on this book. They're not bad. I know they're not bad. And I understand the need to go back to a Strange Academy #1, but I guess we'll see what happens. It's cool. I think it's very fun. So it says the summer. I feel like it's going to be pushed back a bit because this issue was pushed back a bit. So I'm going to say maybe September, October, we're going to be seeing the return of this book, kind of like when a school year would be starting. So that's kind of interesting. It's been very cool. What's happening in the Dark Dimension now that Doctor Strange is dead? Are we going to see Clea entering the fray like, okay, I'm on the side of these kids? So that would be kind of funny. But it's been a good read. And it's such a good read, it just gets me thinking that Disney Plus will scoop this up very soon and make it their Harry Potter. Because it's great. It's really fun. And this issue covered a lot of ground. I dig it for that, and I dig what this book is doing. So Strange Academy issue number 18, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. So thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.